Hi there, how's it going? It is Friday afternoon and it's time for another edition of the GG weekend preview. Ross, great weekend coming up, isn't there? The jump season is really sparking to life.
Yeah, you can't. First grade one of the season in
First grade one in Ireland.
Great card at Ascot. Yeah, so
Wetherby as well.
Charlie Hill Chase. So yeah, it's all kicking in. This is normally the time of year I can tell it's kicking in because I've got a cold and a cough. So you know that's how I recognise the start of the jump season, when my body becomes a germ-filled factory. Yeah. That's when you know that it's time.
That's when you know. Mine is when I start looking forward to Christmas and when I start drinking mulled wine, which is what I'm going to do tonight.
Mulled wine, and it's November.
Amazing.
We've just got Halloween out of the way. That was fun, wasn't it?
We did. That's non-alcoholic mulled wine for those watching from the authorities. Anyway, Down Royal Champion Chase is where we'll start off. It used to be known as the James Nicholson Wine Merchant.
More wine. Stop the alcohol.
No alcohol references here. Cracking races, 2-1 Delta Work, 94 Clandesova, the King George winner from last season, 72 Road to Respect, the horse back every year in the Gold Cup and it never wins, 8-1 Snow Falcon, 20-1 Alpha Des Obo. Who are you going for, Ross?
I'm going to go for Road to Respect. Clandesova I thought would start favourite here. I'm a bit surprised actually that Delta Work is favourite, but you can see why. You can pick holes in Clandesova's form. Even his King George win was from a fading thistle crack. Mike Bite, who'd gone at the game, you know, it wasn't a vintage King George he won. And he's also been beaten the last 3 years, first time up Clandesova, which is quite interesting. He was beaten by Bristol de Mai, Whisper, Rock the Casbah the last 3 years. So, I mean, his form first time out isn't great, so I could understand why people are looking for an alternative. I am. Delta Work's got to prove it out of novice company, albeit in the RSA Chase at Cheltenham last year. That was a great race with Santini and top of the game. Sadly, top of the game's out for the season. But Delta Work is his chance to prove he's up to the grade. But I think the solid contender is Road to Respect. He's been there in this race, he's won it before, hugely impressive in this last year. Fewer question marks about him than all the others. So third favourite, what is he? 5 to 2,
72, third favourite at the moment.
7 to 2, I'll take that.
Nice one. So you're going for the veteran as opposed to the new.
He's not really a
veteran. He's not veteran. Mid career, if you like, against Delta Work, who's up and coming and won at this meeting last year. But 72 Road to Respect.
One interesting thing as well you'll find about Gigginstown runners, Jack Kennedy's out injured, and I'm very surprised. There's obviously been a little bit of maybe a fallout again with Davy Russell and Gigginstown. He's actually on Alpha Des Obo, and Keith Donoghue gets the chance to ride Delta Work, which he said this is a big opportunity for him. Young rider, we'll see how he does. Hope the pressure doesn't get to him.
Yeah, let's hope not, man. Good luck, Keith. Charlie Hall Chase next. For me, not a vintage edition of the Charlie Hall. It's incredibly open. I think we've got 6 and 7 runners in single figure prices. I'll run you through them. The market leader is one of the top mares from last season, Bagger Roy at 5 to 2. Then we've got Definitely Red and Elegant Escape at 5 to 1. With Ballyoptic, the frustrating Ballyoptic at 6 to 1, and it's 8 to 1 Bar. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing really standing. You know, so you usually get a really decent Gold Cup contender in this race every year, but this year it's got kind of grade 3 feel. It's probably fair.
That's a bit harsh, maybe. I mean, as you say, it normally takes a touch of class. In the last 10 years, you've had Bristol de Mai, Menora, Q-Card, Silviniaco Conti, all won this race. So it does pay often to look at the classiest horse in the race. And since we've been doing this video, I've had a kind of maxim that I go by, which is don't embarrass yourself by picking a French-sounding horse to win it. But this time, I'm afraid, I'm going to have to throw that out of the window and go for Le Bagot Roy.
I've got to go.
She is the classiest horse in the race. Last year she beat Lost in Translation, who is now third favourite for the Gold Cup. She also beat Top of the Game. She's a dual Grade 1 winner. Just got beat by Kalashnikov at Aintree when she probably wasn't at her best in April. She's easily the classiest horse in this race. I think they're mapping out a King George prep for her, but that's shaping up to be a hot race, especially if Altior and all those big guns turns up.
Please God.
I'd take Le Bagot Roy to show her class here and come out on top. if the race had been 8 runners, I may have put up Topville Ben each way. So I like him. He loves Wetherby. He's won his 2 races at Wetherby by a combined 86 lengths. Flat left-handed tracks, progressive is his thing. I can see him running a really big race, but just with the 7 runners, it's difficult to put one up each way.
It's a grade 2 actually, Charlie Horse Chase, so apologies to Connections. It's an alright race. But so yeah, if the Blagger Lap puts a really storming display, then I will eat humble pie, definitely. We've tasked Ross with the Sodexo Gold Cup, which is I think an 18-runner handicap chase, the big handicap at Ascot on Saturday. Some decent horses in this. 5-1 Vindication, 6-1 on the blind side. He was one of the favourites for the Ballymore a couple of seasons, didn't get to Cheltenham, if I'm right. 8-1 Mr. Malarkey, who was 4th in the RSA last year, and then about 10-1 Larry, who won a couple of decent races at the end of last season. Vindication, it was strongly fancy the JLT, but one of the main contenders. He finished 5th in that race. He's had wind surgery since. We've seen what that did to St Calvados. Just a quick word on Vindication. You've taken him on, huh?
I'm taking him on. I like the horse. Not much not to like about him. But you know, I just think there's a couple of better contenders. I'm going to give 2. One's a massive price. We'll start with the one that I think is most likely to win. That's Larry. I've put him down in my GG alerts for the season, as I expect him to improve now. He's upped in trip to 3 miles. He was really impressive at the end of last year. A couple of occasions over 2, 3, 2, 4. I think the step up in trip will really suit. His trainer Gary Moore's won this race 2 of the last 3 years, including for the same owners, Traffic Fluid last year. So he knows exactly what it takes to win this, and he usually preps one of his better chasers for this. So we'll take him at 10-1. And the other one I like is about 50-1, 66-1. And it's an old favourite of everybody's. It's Whisper. Whisper is running and it's 50-1. Obviously on his back form he would carry these at his best. He's obviously had major injuries, but you've got to remember 2.5 years ago he was finishing a nose behind Might Bite in the RSA in that amazing race where Might Bite swerves all over the track. 2 years ago he was beating Clan des Obeaux in this very month, and so he's had one run back in Chepstow 2-3 weeks ago, and I've just watched the video back, and he jumped with, he jumped as well as I've ever seen him jump. Looked to have his old zest back. The ground was too soft for him, the trip was too short for him, and I just thought it was a more than adequate comeback, even though he finished last of 10. He was up there pitching until the quick guns went away from him. And I just think 50-1 is a bit obscene for a horse with that class.
What age is 11? He's 11.
He's 11, yeah. I mean, he's not going to be better. He's rated a stone below his best now. Have the injuries made him a stone worse horse? Maybe they have, but at 50-1, I'm going to throw a couple of quid each way on him and see what he does.
Trained by Sam Thomas now?
Yeah, Denman's old rider, yeah.
What a story that would be, Sam Thomas, the 2008 Gold Cup hero, of course. Right, you want to talk about one of my favourite race titles of the year, the Horris Hill?
Horris Hill, at Newmarket. So I thought we've been talking about the jump, so I thought I'd stick one in for the flat fans, the flat boys. Kenzai Warrior is the name. Only run once, won a Salisbury novice. The 2nd, 4th and 6th have all come out and won since, impressively. The 2nd, in actual fact, has won 2 since, including at Group 3 level, Max Vega of Rafe Beckett's. So the form is solid in the book, and he's from a relatively unfashionable trainer in Roger Till. I suspect if it was John Gosden and he had a one by his name with that form, he'd probably be half the price he is now. He's a big double-figure price, I think. I think it's 14-16-1 is available, so we'll stick him up each way and keep the flat boys happy.
Yeah, Kenzai Warrior.
Yeah, Kenzai Warrior.
And the Horris Hill.
Chris is just looking up the odds.
Just check it. And the 205 at Newmarket tomorrow, Kenzai Warrior in the Horris Hill, 14-1, best price at the moment. Take a look at that. Beaters Cup tonight and tomorrow night. Just a thought. Sum up. Not interested. Couldn't give a toss. Watching it. Something
to watch after you come home from the pub tomorrow and probably lose a few quid when you shouldn't have. More alcohol speak. I'm not sure if I'm allowed that cut.
Absolutely. Let's get out of here definitely before the IPC or whoever it is take us down. Anyway, enjoy what is a fantastic weekend of racing. Whether you're a flat fan or a jumps fan, you're all covered. And check out the website, GG website. There's so much good content out at the moment, and on our Twitter feed. So we're really quite proud of that. So do look at that. We've got some great videos and some great content. So yeah, have a great weekend.